And welcome guys to another little video, and today's video is going to be over our soldier controller. That's what I'm gonna call it. Our little soldier right here has got a bunch of scripts and stuff like that. He's got a control, we've made him where he can run and walk, and well, he can't run yet, which isn't that hard to integrate. If you watch my other videos, you know how this works. Then we got the speed variable, which speed is actually supposed to be stuck on 6. It must be because I had it, here and everything. I've integrated the mouse look on here, and now I've changed some of the code and things like that for the mouse look, and I made a controller variable, stuff like that. So mouse look, I can drag it on here, pretty common. I could have made it a regular mono behavior, but then I have to have variables that are referenced someplace else, and just that's. And two, then it was another update, and I was like, you know what? I'll just make this a variable. Very easy concept. Well, let's see this thing in action. I haven't got the buttons too different, so as you can see, we can go left and right, and it's smoothed out. I've got some smoothing going on just like usual. We can walk, it seems kind of slow, and then we can jump. Wee wee. Okay, then we can jump and actually move as well. Okay, and this is controlled by fall speed as well. And how high he jumps is actually a variable that you can adjust as well. And I think it's pretty nice. I kind of like it. Now the jump just seems like it's really big time, like just big time, which doesn't make sense to me because it's actually just 2 something. But, I will probably figure it out sometime. Adjust it accordingly as it needs, but, for the most part, I like it. I think it works just fine. So, we put a camera on this one and disable this main camera. You know how that works. Nothing big and everything, so because our weapon camera is going to have to be coming up pretty soon. We've got an audio listener on our soldier, and that's pretty much about it. I mean, it's not changed a whole lot. Well, it has changed, but not as much as you'd think. Okay, and I kept this mesh renderer and stuff like that around just because, well, we don't even need these, and I'll delete them just for heaven's sake, I guess. We don't need a filter either. And then I will apply this to the prefab, and this will now be a prefab in our thing. Okay, so I got a soldier prefab, boom boom boom, and it's just like that. So let's take a look at some of how this works under the hood. Alright, now we've got a soldier class, which inherits from character class, and the only thing that this is an abstract class that's a mono behavior. It actually does absolutely nothing. You can put mono behavior if you wanted, but this is like kind of my way of signaling, hey, this is a character class. Obviously, yes, because it's called soldier, but we could have like an NPC version or something like that that's called soldier. And I really didn't want to, just have some form of issue go on that, I have to change a whole bunch of stuff. So I just called it character class just so that I know it's a character class. We have our melee, which I described in the last thing. This I controller inputs is a interface for just the controller. Okay. It does bull fire, jump, horizontal, vertical, and get lock. Get lock is not integrated into the system yet because it's for locking the cursor. It's not been written yet, so because we're going to have several things that probably want a reference to that. That way we're not pulling up the API for Unity and things. Now, the character controller, well, it's a character controller. I mean, there's not much I can say about that. Mouse item is a new little class. It's abstract with initial for my character transform and the camera transform, okay? And the look rotation for the character and the camera transform. I did this so that I can make this a mono behavior. The other version of this, of the mouse look, was a pure C class, okay? Just a regular C class. Let's actually take a look at that version. And it's not very complicated. Clamps. We inherit from mouse look. We don't need this crap. Okay, and we're overriding. Simple as that. I mean, this is a regular mouse look. I mean, Unity provides this. It's nothing but a Unity script pretty much, except modified a little. That's it. That's all I did. Come from the standard assets, I changed this to float bars, the range things. And I think I added this. Now, the mouse look, I think, is the only script that I have that actually calculates left and right and up and down for the mouse. So I'm not actually even going to put this anyplace else. So yeah, I think it'll stay exactly in here, and this is where this will remain. But like I said, the older version was like this, pure C class, okay? Pure C class, and that's all. So all I did was put an abstract thing of mouse item. That's it. That's all I did. Will not save, and that's it. Is grounded, pretty simple. Some float variables, okay, with a range from 0 to 15, okay, which you can increase this if you need to or whatnot, but these are all floats. Walk equals 6 point. Run equals 10F. Jump equals 6. Fall equals 4. And speed equals 6. Okay? Speed is one of those variables that always change in this class. So I made it where, it's whole thing. And then transform.direction is just a regular vector 3 that we translate, we pass into the thing. And last, transform.y, okay? This is used for our jump, okay? And this is just a regular float. And then this is fall damage, which will always equal 0 unless we're falling, okay? Because I increased this a certain amount time.delta time to simulate a damage call, okay? So if we're going too fast, we hit the ground, guess what? We get hurt. That's it. I mean, I don't care too much about this logic for fall damage right now, because it's going to be one of those experimental things. Okay, and input data equals get component I controller inputs, which is a interface, which we've already explained that one. So we do mouse initial. We pass it this transform because this is the, the parent one, right? And then we got weapon transform. And that's the thing we need to rotate around and stuff to move around. And it also rotates our camera. We got an update, which we use the controller is grounded variable. We pass it into ours. Now, you don't have to do this. Check right here, because all you have to do is slap this call in to right here. But I slapped it into a variable because I may need other classes to get this value right here, and I always want to, maybe I'll use a property or something later on, but yeah. And then data, input data equals get lock equals true. If it's true, if both these are true, then it runs this function right here, okay, which is kind of long, but it's not really as bad as you think, okay. If fall damage is greater than 0, then we do stuff, okay. And transform.direction dot set, we take our input values, this little bit right here. Now you can't put this 0 because then your player will not stick to the ground very good, okay. It'll keep giving you a bunch of false positives and stuff when you're supposed to be falling or whatnot. You don't stick to the ground that great, so you got to give it a little bit of nudge. And then this is the z-axis. Pretty simple. And then we translate it into from a world direction to a local direction. Okay, that's all this function call does. Transform.direction equals transform.translate direction. It gives us a direction. If we're going forward, whatever our camera is facing, we're going to go forward from there, okay. And then we times it by speed, which gives us, speed. And if input.jump equals true, then we give transform.direction.y, or y factor, we make it equal jump speed, okay, which we could probably put jump height or whatever you possibly want, call it jump something, okay. And I also set the last transform.direction y to equal jump speed, because here's the thing, we can't, this is always being like moved around and stuff like that. When we get to our else statement, when we're not grounded, we need the last transform.y, because if you try to use this one, it's really, really terrible, and it doesn't act correct. It's just really, it's just not functional. Okay, it's just not functional. All right, because you're gonna go from jump speed that's like 0.7 to like, negative 0.5. And this will automatically make it go straight to whatever your jump speed is. And then you're going to automatically go into the else statement, which means as soon as you leave the ground, you're going to go negative a lot. Okay? So we use this variable right here to interpolate from jump speed, the total, and then we go, hey, pass this in what we're currently at. So we'll go up at a certain speed, and then we start falling back down based on this call right here. Okay, So after it does this on this frame, and this is called up, we times it by speed, and then because this is passed in right here, it doesn't care if you change it at this line because it's already done passed in this vector 3, so it's already nested in there, so the y is already set. So then we change the y right here, okay, and that's where you get that nice fall up and down. All right, and then this right here, if we're ever falling, if our fall damage is ever like greater than 100, I'm just gonna have it where our people just die. Okay, our people just automatically just die. So that way I don't have to do any collision checks or anything stupid. Okay, I shouldn't be setting this. Boom, there you go. And I'll put some form of damage code here. Okay, so now we're into the thing where if those statements do their work, we're going to call controller.move transform.direction at time.delta time, times it by time.delta time. If controller velocity is .y is greater, is less than or equal to negative 60. Okay, this is a very, very high number. So if it ever gets past this, like negative 61 or negative 60, and just keep going more negative, we're going to take our fall damage, which is at 0 from the start, and then we're going to keep plussing and equaling. Okay, so we're going to be adding stuff in there, okay, by fall speed times by time.delta time. So we're going to slowly reach all the way probably to whatever until we land. Once we land, our velocity goes back to 0, and if we're going forward and stuff, then our velocity goes positive, okay? If we're, just sitting on the ground, our velocity is going to be 0, so this doesn't care anymore. It never executes the fall damage, plussing the whole fall damage thing, okay? And this is the update for the mouse look. That's it. We went through all these other ones, and that's the class right there, guys. Really simple. We've got fall damage integrated. Don't know how good it's going to be right yet. Well, actually, I think I've refined this a lot better probably in my other project, because I'm ahead of you guys when it comes to video. That way, I know that it works. It gives me time to get bugs out of it. And then slide code into this project in cycles. And there we go. So, yeah. And it all works. Works just like I showed you. So, and the input, the script called soldier inputs, very simple, okay? Fire, jump, my horizontal, my vertical, button stuff. Our start method is pretty much garbage, so let's cross that off. Update is called every frame, and we just go my fire, which is the property, which is protected set. Okay, so classes outside of this cannot set this, okay? And it also uses interface iController inputs, okay? So this stuff returns the values right here. You just got get lock, get this. Remember I said get lock isn't integrated? It always returns true. Until we, get the whole the lock cursor stuff integrated into it, which wouldn't take much. I mean, we've done it 100 times, so what all these calls are doing is setting the properties here. That's it. Okay, that's all they're doing. All right. This return to float, this return to float, bool, and bool. This right here, I used input get button down because it'll go true, and then after it's been true, it automatically goes to false again. Okay. If I used get button, it would constantly change the state of the button, and I thought that was kind of dumb. The firing right here, I wanted this to be get button because when I'm holding the button, I want it to always be true. Okay, I want it to return true all the time. Once I release the button, then it returns false. Okay, which this code right here may not even be in. I haven't decided yet. But we just use functions, get bool, float, float. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, I don't know how else I can, say it. And these are because the interface, okay, for the return stuff, it's for the interface. And the reason why I did this in here is because I didn't want it. If I wanted to get rid of the soldier inputs and just delete it out of the project, I could, okay? Maybe I want some specialty class later on for some other people. So I don't want to do these big old bool checks or anything else. Okay, let's say I get a character that cannot jump, okay? That's not allowed to jump, all right? Well, if he's not allowed to jump, then I should go in here and put this to be my jump equal, just return false all the time. Just return false. That way he can never jump, and that would disable the jump, okay? But I don't want to, sit there and have another bool that I check off and things like that. I just want to directly write it, okay? Because that's the beauty of the interface. It's looking for the interface. It doesn't care what my actual class name is, okay? I can write soldier inputs, I can write sniper inputs, I can write anything that I want, okay? It doesn't care about this part. It cares about this little thingamabobber here, okay? This interface and these functions down here returning something, okay? I could have labeled this potato gun, potato inputs. It didn't care, okay? I just want it to be a lot more flexible than what we had before, where we put player inputs. And then every class is looking for player inputs. And then guess what? We've got some rare case scenario where we need another character to, let's say have a special class where he, here's a good scenario. Let's say the soldier class has a grenade. He's able to have grenades and stuff, but he's not allowed having a medic pack, okay? And let's say I want to put a keybind, okay? So when I'm a medic, actually the medic class, I want to be able to hit a button and heal myself, right? I mean, it sounds legit, or heal someone else. So I need a button for that, right? Well, in the eye controller part, I can have have another interface. Okay, go in here and put a bool heal. Okay, and It doesn't care. It just wants me to, put the heal in here. All right. Soldier doesn't do this, so we will always return false, right? Because we don't want him to be able to heal, right? But in another input session, I want this to, I want another thing that does, hey, input my heal, but Soldier doesn't have it. So why integrate extra code in there and have another bool in here? Can he heal? No. Yes. Can he do this? It doesn't make sense for me. I mean, this function call right here for do heal, if he's a certain class, you can make the function pretty much just be empty. Okay, it's not gonna care. Okay, in the soldier thing itself, right here, you can have a function in here probably somewhere, or maybe in the health class. In the health class, okay, and it just go, hey, you cannot have, instead of healing the character, have it pop up a message on the screen. You cannot do this or whatever. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, but it's just if you know anything about using input.get button or input.get key, if you use a lot of keybind input keys, it's kind of performance heavy. It uses a lot of process because it's got to check all those buttons at the same time, like that. And it's, if you can get away with less buttons, do it. If you need more buttons, then dance around, I guess, or whatnot. But yeah, it's not good to have too many of them. But I'm gonna let you guys go. So like, hit subscribe, and smash that bell button. Let me know in the comments what you think, and peace out, guys, and take care. This is War over and out, and have a nice day.